You built a life characterized by discipline, direction, and the kind of high-functioning reliability everyone else anchors themselves to. But as this rigid structure begins to splinter, you quickly realize the external perfection is no longer holding. You are managing the inescapable pressure of being the one who has it all figured out, while privately feeling like you are losing your grip on who you actually are. It is easy to mistake this for a temporary lapse in motivation or a simple case of burnout, the kind of problem you think you can solve by exercising even more control over your schedule. In reality, the high-achieving version of yourself that everyone admires is a learned survival mechanism. You are facing an identity crisis born from decades of performing a role you were handed rather than one you chose. When success is rooted in survival instincts, that success eventually transforms from a reward into a cage. There comes a moment when the success markers and approval systems you relied on lose their meaning. You hit a state of zero, a clearing where the old roles simply stop functioning. This collapse provides the necessary silence to finally hear your own inner authority. The clearing of the old self is the prerequisite for building something true. It forces the question, who exists beneath the patterns of your family, your culture, and your past survival strategies? Discovering your actual nature requires you to first shed the identity that made you valuable to everyone else. Karma is the pattern. It is the collection of subconscious, repetitive behaviors like overthinking or emotional avoidance that currently dictate your choices. These survival loops hide behind socially rewarded virtues. What looks like kindness is often people-pleasing. High standards is frequently perfectionism. The strong one disguises over-responsibility, the need to carry everything for everyone, masking a deep avoidance of your own needs. Because these patterns create external success, they are constantly reinforced by the world around you. You continue to achieve, but you do so from a state of survival rather than truth. This is why your life can work perfectly on the outside while feeling entirely hollow on the inside. You are succeeding as a version of yourself that doesn't actually exist. Dharma is the movement into conscious authorship. It is the process of making choices based on inner truth rather than the need for external validation or belonging. Stepping into this alignment involves the difficult work of unlearning who you were taught to be. It requires dismantling the success scripts you followed since childhood. A nervous system wired for decades of performance requires time to find a new baseline. As these networks settle, your body moves from a state of constant high alert into a regulated, stable structure. This stability allows your authentic identity to emerge. It takes repetition and safety to release old protective habits and allow new, purposeful choices to become your default response. Like gestation, this recalibration follows a natural timeline. Real change happens through a 9-month arc of awareness, regulation, and eventually embodiment. The Dharma diploma provides the 9-month structure required for this shift. It is a curriculum-based journey designed specifically for high achievers who are ready to move from patterns to purpose. The structure is built on 4 pillars. The curriculum provides the map, while coaching and community provide the mirrors needed to see your own patterns clearly. Moving through this timeline as a cohort creates a collective momentum. It ensures that the process of dismantling an old identity is held within a rhythm of consistent accountability. Entering this container is a conscious choice to stop consuming self-help content and start the disciplined work of identity transformation. If you see your own story in these patterns, know that you don't need to push yourself harder to find a solution. The solution is already within the version of you that is ready to stop performing. This journey is about returning to your original nature. You are releasing the protective roles you took on to survive so you can inhabit the truth of who you are. The world has enough performance. It needs more people who have the courage to live from their Dharma. Stop living the life you inherited. Start living the one you were made for. Apply for the next Dharma Diploma cohort and begin the transition from karma to Dharma.